And I did mention that what is happening in the country, everybody talks about River State on television, and some of these are the issues we discuss. We're talking about building a society where no one is oppressed, as reflected in the top paragraph of our national anthem. As a former president and also from the Niger Delta, when the issue of suspending the governor came up, I think people call on me, oh, President Jonathan, oh, President Obasanjo, you should say something. People expected us to say something about what is happening. And of course, people don't even know that traditionally all over the world, former presidents hardly make statements about what the current presidents are doing because of the tension it could create in the country. In most cases, look at America, look at everywhere. So hardly for former presidents to make, sometimes you see and you believe. And of course, what is happening in Nigeria today regarding the situation in River State is like an Indian proverb that said that if somebody is sleeping, really sleeping, you can easily wake up that person. But if the person is pretending to sleep, you find it difficult to wake up that person. The key actors in Nigeria, from executive to the legislature, luckily Senator Binta and others are here, and the judiciary, they know the correct thing to do, but they are refusing to do it. They are pretending to sleep. And waking such a person is extremely difficult because the person knows the right thing. A clear abuse of offices, clear abuse of power, clear abuse of privileges, cutting across from the three arms of government, from the executive to the parliament to the judiciary. And I always plead with our people that whatever we do affects everybody. And sometimes we do things and we think that it doesn't affect us. I've been a president before, and even after leaving office as a former president, people get to me. Why is that our passport is not valued that much? Why is that Nigerians are not given the kind of treatment we're supposed to receive at the international airports? Sometimes we think it's because of Yahoo boys or 419ers. No, not only them. Yes, they are part of the problem. But whatever happens in a country, decisions that are taken by the executive arm of government, decisions that are taken by the parliament, judicial decisions affect everybody. For example, no businessman can bring his money to invest in a country where the judiciary is compromised, where a government functionary can dictate to judges what judgment they will give. No man brings his money to invest in that economy because we are taking a big risk. So whatever we do affects everybody. And if we must build a nation for our children and our grandchildren, no matter how painful it is, we must strive to do what is right. It may cost us, but we must endeavor and pay the price to insist on doing what is right. Whether you're holding an executive office as a president, a minister, or a governor, or a special advisor, or executive, whether you're holding an office in the parliament, senate, or rep, whether you're a judicial officer at the high courts or appellate courts, we must strive to do what is right. If we want to build a nation that our children will be proud of. As we engage in these discussions, let us remember that promoting social change is not a one-time event, but a continuous process. It requires a sustained commitment, collective action, and unwavering dedication to the values that promote good governance. Let us also recognize that social change is a shared responsibility, one that requires the active participation and engagement of all stakeholders, including civil society, the private sector, and governments.
Good afternoon, viewers. If you are new to the channel, kindly like, share, subscribe, and please do not forget to hit the notification bell. Mr. Chinedu Michael, let's not look at the surprise move, even after all the opposition we are seeing to Tinubu's position with respect to the state of emergency declared in River State. The president have gone ahead to swear in the sole administrator, and they are pledged to release the fund seized from the state to the man in question. And as if that is not enough, we are seeing other developments that about 10,000 troops have been deployed to the states. In what looked like a war situation, are we actually in war?
Oh, of course, it has come to that point where the international community is already trying to investigate what actually led to the state of emergency in that state. Is it actually justifiable? That's what the international community is looking at. And the signal we are getting from the outside world, United States, America, Canada, Britain, and all that, we are getting a very deep signal about this government under Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his quest, to drag the citizens of this country to chaos and, of course, abuse the rights, the fundamental rights of people. There's going to be a heavy clash between the militants, and the troops that has already been deployed in the Niger Delta. They were talking about 10,000. I mean, then it means, like 50% of the troops who are supposed to be somewhere and trying to combat the terrorists around the country are already in Niger Delta to make sure that the crude oil is running. But I can tell you, we are going to be experiencing a lot of clashes if it is actually what they want. And I can tell you that the retired admiral they just brought into, that has just been sworn in, retired admiral Ibaz is a loyalist of the system. I believe they can appoint somebody. They have the right to appoint anybody. But how would it be? How would people look at it that somebody outside the state was actually appointed? Okay, they didn't want to bring somebody from Rivers. Maybe they would think that the person might be biased or that. But will he be able to stand the pressure that is coming any moment from now? We have seen the NNPC, we have seen a lot of platforms or pipelines, are going in fire, in flames. Everything is skyrocketing, everything is being burnt down. They are not going to lose because that's the only thing they know they can lay their hand up as a form of protest. This is a symbol of protest. And nobody can come and tell me that they are destroying this thing. How do they? What do they? People who are living inside the river, and every day you continue to damage, cause pollution, destroy the land, scatter everywhere. And in some of those communities, there's no light. And the only way, that an Judgement can have a fair share of illumination and dividend of democracy is by bringing supporting an governor who in that maybe you'll be able to look deeply and see how these things are going to play around and see how he's going to save in the oil producing communities. But unfortunately, the Northerners, and the Arab Yorubas does not want to see that happen. The mad pressure on Wike to be carrying out this kind of calamity. And that is what it is. The mad pressure. That's the pressure we are seeing on daily basis. That's what we are seeing on daily basis. So outside that, what do you expect? Go to all those Ijaw communities and see what the people are going through on daily basis. And you have an Ijaw governor. What does it take? If I believe that the president Bola Ahmed Tinubu should be able to have some level of conscience, and sympathy for the Ijaw people, considering the fact that oil drillage, pollution, a lot of things has destroyed that land. Some of them cannot even fish, they cannot farm, they are living on water 24 hours. And when they see this kind of threat coming, you say they will not agitate, they will not protest. They cannot be using placard on the water. And that's the only thing they know they can use as a weapon to attract global attention, to attract government attention to their plight. Now you cannot just take away first Ijaw governor and he's being disgraced. But it's not fair.
You see it as a disgrace.
Of course. It's not fair. So and that's why you are seeing this build-up, this armed struggle build-up within the. You can see a lot of comments, a lot of youth organizations, a lot of people, are saying, no, we cannot take it, and it's going to result. Whatever is going to result, we are going to push for it at the end of the day. So that's the only thing I want to say in that regard. Deploying more troops. I can tell you categorically clear that this present administrator now, Tinubu has just sworn and appointed to handle the allocation of Rivers State is going to find it very difficult to operate. You can only operate within the APC caucus in Rivers State.
The man made it clear that his intention or his purpose, his agenda is to restore law and order. But Fubara have said that there is no vacuum under his watch.
But the Fubara said, I will not hand over to you. He said it. You know, whatever is going to happen, because you understand. But there are a lot of allegations of corrupt activities against that man already. It's trending. The man's hand is not even clear. And it's been believed that this man is loyal to Wike. We have seen him and Wike, you know, pursuing the same agenda at the same time. So all the whole groups, you know, within the NDDC region, and of course the entire eastern part of the country, you know, are meeting to form a very big bloc resistance force, you know, against this oppression. This is a slap on the Biafran land by the Yoruba people.
You call it oppression?
Yes, it's a slap on Biafrans, you know, on the Biafran land. You know, the Yorubas cannot come at this point in time and be threatening the Biafran land because they still want to behave like the Northerners, you know, against the will of the people. And it's unfortunately that the likes of Sadi Dukubo and some of them like that are the ones that created this lacuna, that every time, every now, we are seeing land that has been destroyed as a result of oil exploration going under crisis and flames on 24 hours as a result of bad leadership, bad approach, because they felt that the gold is there and it must be taken by force, whether they like it or not. It's a big one, it's a big challenge, you know, and it's going to build a movement, you know, that we get to a point that the world will begin to wonder. They never believed, they've not seen it before, how this thing were able to bring the whole block together, you know, to pursue one agenda, and that is the liberation and restoration of Biafra as a sovereign nation. Now, let me just share this, you know, to our viewers, to be honest with you. You know, this thing has gotten to a point that the entire South and the Southeast is already under threat.
I want to say very big thank you for your time. Hope to have you next time. Thank you very much.